Is that correct? Or two uncles?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So why is that part important? Why is bringing in extended family, other men, other, father figures, adults into that process? Why is that such an important part of the whole thing? Why can't a dad just go off with him and his son, just the two of them, and do this?
Frankly, because the boy doesn't want to listen to dad. I mean, certainly dad is the most important male role model in a boy's life. He should be the one to organize and spearhead this rite of passage event for his son. But that being said, when your son becomes a teenager, there starts to develop this tension between father and son, right?
Yeah.
The son wants to spread his wings a little bit. He doesn't want to always listen to what dad has to say. But by getting other men involved, men who are not quite as close to your son, granted, these guys still have relationships with your son, uh, should be grandfather, uncles, close family friends, but they don't have that same emotional intimacy as dad. They don't live under the same roof as him. So, and when a guy says one of these other male mentors on a rite of passage, they might share the same piece of advice to your son that you as dad have been saying for the last 2 years, right? You need to make your bed every morning. You need to make your bed every morning. The son doesn't listen to his dad. But when another man says that, it's like the son finally listens, like, oh, I never thought about that. I should try that sometime. So by
I
getting other men involved, it helps to break through to your son in a way that he might actually listen.
Yeah, and I think there's ton of value to what you just said there. So I, work in schools and I coach, and I used to do private lessons with kids, and I'd be working with a pitcher, and I would tell him something, and he would do it, and he'd be like, "Oh, that was great," and the dad's like, "I've been telling him that for the last 3 months to do that," and sometimes
Yeah.
from a different voice, it just comes across and it's processed differently. So I think that's super important as well. Um, so if you could just kind of speak on how you felt going through, how long did this stick with you? Does it still stick with you? Did you have situations later on where it kind of came up and you drew back on your experience in your rite of passage that kind of helped you make some tougher decisions? Can you just speak on that for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.